Hey guys, it's Erica and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're enjoying your day or evening, or maybe even afternoon. So as you can tell from the title, today's video is about signs that it might be time to move on from a friendship. I feel as though this topic isn't really discussed very much, so I wanted to talk about it further. If you're someone who's finding it a little or maybe even a lot difficult to move forward, I know the feeling, it really sucks. But I hope that from my experiences, you'll be able to gain some insight. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Everyone is changing and growing at their own pace. Sometimes, maybe even oftentimes, we find that gradually our friends become people who aren't very supportive about our growth and our successes. And sometimes this is right off the bat, you may not even see it. But a lot of the times it seems to be gradual. This feeling absolutely sucks, especially if you've known this friend or group of friends for a really long time. I am someone who loves to motivate and support my friends. I just think it's so wonderful. It's such a wonderful thing to see those friendships and the individual person that they are grow and change to become the best version of themselves and evolve. But unfortunately, that support isn't always returned. Here's an example of unsupportive friends. So I had my very first solo art show a few years ago, and to artists that's normally a big deal. Well, at least it was for me because I've never had a solo show before. I've done group shows and those are amazing, but there's something about doing a show on your own that makes such a difference. This exhibit lasted for a month, and one of the days I was out treetop trekking for the day. And when I came home, I received some texts that I wasn't expecting. These people who went to see my show, who I thought were my friends at the time, you know, I'm very grateful that they came out, made time out of their day to go see my work. Like, that truly means a lot to me because they could have honestly been doing something else with their time, but they chose to go see my artwork. So I'm forever grateful for that. However, the response to it wasn't the nicest. Some of the text messages were saying, "Oh my God, what did you paint this painting with a diamond brush? Why does it cost so much?" So to me, that's a little offensive and kind of rude because I understand that maybe the price range of my paintings isn't what you would expect them to be or what you would price them out as yourself, but there's a lot that goes on behind doing an actual art piece in itself, but that's a completely different topic. Anyways, by saying that, you're saying to the artist, you know, I don't think your artwork is really worth it. I don't think it's good. It's not good enough to be in that price range. Anything along those lines. But what I'm trying to point out here is that any good friend would never ever say anything about the price itself. You know, a good friend would say, "Hey, congratulations, you must be so proud of yourself. Like, look at all of your hard work, it has paid off." It doesn't have to be a lie. You don't have to lie at all. You could literally just say great work. But to comment about the pricing, I think, is very rude. It's just not right. And maybe some people didn't know this, and maybe they are just not aware of these things. But for me, that is common sense. I just never would comment on it because let's say you go to a restaurant and you're sitting down, you wouldn't blurt out to the chef like, "Oh my God, what did you make this out of? Diamonds? Like, why does it cost so much?" You know, I just don't get it. Perhaps they were saying this in a joking way. Joke or not, it's just unacceptable in my eyes. It's just not appropriate because I think that there is some truth to those kinds of jokes. But on the brighter side, what I learned from that is that these aren't the type of friends that I want to be friends with. Yes, it's nice they came to my show, you know, and took time to text me, but I would much rather have a friend who is actually going to support me and give me proper feedback. To me, those are just backhanded compliments, but take it for what it is, learn from it, and I can now say those are not the type of people I need to surround myself with. And here's something to think about. So anyone who tries to bring you down is already a clear indication that you are above them and they're trying to pull you with them. Just think about that, because anyone who is actually on your level or above you would never try to bring you down, but only lift you up further. Let's wean out the fake friends. The second sign is friends who only reach out for the gossip. They just want to have the inside scoop just for their own good. It's only for their benefit. They don't really care about your well-being. A few years ago, I was in Montreal and I was exploring, enjoying the day, and I get a phone call. And this person and we are friends, but friends who catch up when we see each other, not on a daily basis, which is fine because you will have those friends in your life. So this person calls me and I don't pick up because it's not an appropriate time for me to pick up the phone call and I won't be able to give them the proper time of day. So I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna call back when I can. This person calls me again. When someone calls me 2 times in a row, it's definitely urgent. In my head, I was thinking, oh my goodness, I hope that everything is okay. I answered the phone call and before I said any word at all I hear is, what the is going on? And that is very aggressive and no one has ever called me out of the blue like that. So I was kind of taken aback from it. But anyways, I was being polite and calm about the situation and I said, hi, person's name, I really don't know what you're talking about. Can you please elaborate? And I had no idea. I really didn't. I just stayed calm. I wanted to hear them out because maybe they had some sort of issue with me. No idea. So then this person continues to talk about, what's going on between you and so-and-so. So now she's saying that there's an issue between me and another person. But to me, there's no issue because that person had never reached out to me saying that they had an issue with me and I never reached out to them because literally I had no issues. Like I was just going on about my day. I'm just living my life. And to her, it sounds like there's some sort of issue that I need to fix, but I don't know what it is. And I've told this group of friends, you know, if you ever have an issue with me, I don't care how blunt you are with me, let's get it out in the air, let's fix it, talk to me directly. I said, you know what, please tell so-and-so to contact me if they have an issue with me because as far as I know, they haven't communicated with me that they have an issue with me and you can just tell them that. This person on the phone who called me never suggested, you know, let's all get together. This person doesn't feel comfortable talking to you by herself. You know, she gets kind of nervous and isn't good for confrontation. No suggestion of that whatsoever. And I already knew just from her call to me that she just wanted an inside scoop, some gossip to talk about. It was really confirmed later on when she never followed up on it, never asked like, hey, just wanted to check in and see how you're doing. I know that was kind of abrupt. See how, if whatever the issue was with so-and-so was resolved, but again, like no issue whatsoever. But anyways, that is a fake friend and someone who just wants to know gossip for their own well-being. They don't really care. An actual caring friend would have called me politely and said something along the lines of, hey Erica, how are you? I know we haven't spoken in a while, but there's just something that I want to talk to you about. Are you busy right now? Anything along the lines of that. Fine. That's an actual caring, considerate friend, not someone who aggressively starts questioning right off the bat and also swearing for that matter. Like, I just don't get it. That's not very good manners. That situation showed me that that's not the kind of friendship that I want. I want friends who are actually going to support me and I'll support them as well, and we'll actually look out for each other because we want to, and it's not because we want gossip. The third sign is that you're just not on the same page. Like I had mentioned earlier, everyone is growing at their own pace. Some friendships you'll notice that you've grown apart, and that's fine because we're living different lives, we're experiencing different things. It's just hard to accept, especially if you've known this person for a long time. I'm the type of friend who likes to have more meaningful and deeper conversations to really get to know them. I don't really care much for the shallow conversations. I like to discuss goals, different mindsets, future plans, anything of that sort. I find it so fascinating to hear about those things about my friends. It's just conversation and the type of energy that I want to be around. I need that to fuel my soul. If I'm feeling this way, I know that someone else out there is probably feeling the same way of some sort. When I'm with someone who is like-minded, we are able to bounce ideas off each other, have a very easy flowing conversation. Honestly, it just uplifts us both and it motivates us to work harder, to become the better version of ourselves. That's what I like to be around. One time I was with a group of friends and we were having a lovely meal together, and I brought up the question casually because this is the type of thing I like to talk about and I think it's very informal. I asked, so what are your goals for this upcoming year? And one person, the feedback was kind of unexpected, said, oh, that is so boring. Can we talk about something else? Not the response I thought I would get, as I accept the person for who they are and love them for who they are, period. But I made a mental note that, hey, this isn't the kind of conversation that this person likes to have. and I need to find people who are more in line with the way I think. Let's appreciate that we now can make room for new friends who are more aligned with who we are, and that will be able to grow with us at the same rate. There's this old saying that I don't remember word for word, but it goes something along the lines of, you are a combination of the 5 people who you surround yourself with most often. And that is so true and super important to note. For myself, I do check in to see, you know, even before COVID, who am I spending my time with? Who am I becoming when I spend my time with them? Do I feel good about that? Do I feel good about who I am? Do I have good energy around that? And sometimes the answer would be no, and you know, sometimes it could be a hard pill to swallow. There are times when yes, I'm totally happy with the people I'm surrounded by, I like who I'm becoming, I like how I feel. Just remember that there are 3 types of friendships: a reason, a season, and a lifetime. If you got those lifetimers, I'm telling you right now, they are gems. Hold on to them tightly. Those friends will move heaven and earth for you, and I'm sure you would do the same for them. I am so grateful for all the friendships that I've made. Some of them I still have today, some of them we've kind of fallen apart just because we're on different pages and we don't really align. But honestly, I can say that I am so grateful for every single friendship that I've made, because they've taught me something a bit about myself, and I've grown from those experiences. If you're gonna take anything away from this video, I think it's to note that it's okay to leave friendships that are no longer serving you. Just be grateful for the time that you guys had together, accept it for what it is, and allow yourself to accept new friends that are gonna enter your life. And just keep that energy and open. Just keep your heart open to that, and everything, I promise, will fall into place as it should. People will always come in and out of your life. Stick with your values. I don't think it's a good idea to try to change yourself for someone else, to try to change yourself to fit into a group of people, because you were meant to shine as who you are, not as someone else, not as other people who are there. You are you, and honestly, that is so powerful. There is no one else there like you, but there are people who will fully accept who you are and embrace that and celebrate that. And those are the kind of people you really want to be around. Alright guys, so that is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know it was kind of long-winded, but I'm hoping that you were able to take something away from it, and I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch this entire video. If you're interested in more of this kind of content, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave any questions or comments down below, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you're aware of when I upload my next video. Bye guys!